when the call first went out. So an hour, 2 minutes ago, when the first call went out. So one might imagine that all of the firefighters who have been called are probably here by now, and pouring this massive amount of water, trying to arrest these flames as best they can. So that's the church in the foreground of the Skyfox shot. And then we're now looking south in this view. And that is what we presume is the school, where we see the flames and the two ladder trucks pouring as much water as they can onto that roof. So the flames are in the rafters now, and they're running through that rafter area. That's a real rough spot for those flames to be for those firefighters. And it's tough to get control of them while they're in that space, because there's nothing but wood there, and a lot of space for those flames to creep along and burn. A lot of fuel in there, a lot of space to burn. So we can only hope, and at this point we're not going to speculate, that anybody who was in this building had plenty of time to get out. Called the fire department, noticed the fire was there, and got anybody who was in there out of there. That's what we hope for. So we will learn more, know more, when our reporter Sherman DeSell and photographer Matt Mateka get on site, which should be very, very soon. I'm told just minutes away. Of course, once they're there, park the vehicle. It's going to take them a little bit of time to get their signal up, and then kind of get their bearings and kind of get some sense of what they can share with us. And then they're going to need to talk to some people as well. So it's not going to be immediate, but we're not far off from getting some details directly from the ground, directly from the scene as well. But look at all that smoke there. And just such a scene for drivers trying to get by as well. And just imagine Houston traffic on its best day can be a challenge, and then you're driving south, you're driving north, you see this huge plume of smoke. You know, that Houston TransStar shot will show you, oh look, there's something going on up there from a distance, and then I mean, you can't help but notice this, and as you get close, the whole oh my goodness of it all, and then you know, this just, we certainly hope that, as I said before, that anybody who was in those buildings got out. We certainly pray for that, but just beyond that, you know, if these are active buildings, if people were using them, there's a lot that's lost there, and there's tragedy in that, and there's loss in that, and we certainly feel for anybody who will have to deal with that, and so we will keep those people in our thoughts as firefighters do what they do. You know, I say frequently to people who will listen that you should thank a first responder, because they're doing a job that you can't or won't do for yourself, and they're making your life a better for it. This is a good reminder that you should thank a first responder, because they answered the call, and they're in there and they're doing this on a difficult day, and so good reason and a good reminder that we should be grateful to have the men and women who do this work for us as well. as we look at this. If you're just joining us, we are looking at this 3-alarm fire on Houston's north side along the North Freeway at roughly Parker, the 5600 block of the North Freeway, where this church and what we believe to be a Christian school is on fire. And it is nowhere near under control. Fire Command got this call at 12:40 this afternoon and promptly pulled 3 alarms. That's a bunch of firefighters, a bunch of equipment that they needed to get this scene under control. And as I look at the buildings that are available from a satellite view on Google Maps, there are a number of buildings here, and they are all on fire. We don't know what started this. We have no idea at this point. But they're all on fire, significantly so. And as we see this view from Skyfox, there are active, open flames. And that view from TranStar, that huge plume of dark, black smoke, is indication enough that there is a lot that is burning there. So firefighters are nowhere close to having this under control, at least to, we're not firefighters, most of us are not, so we'll call it our untrained eyes, although, in a lot of years of doing this, I've seen a lot of fires, and you see some indications of maybe portions of it, that the white smoke, that's steam, but that black smoke, that's something that's burning actively, and it's all mixed up. So there's a lot that's still burning, and that active flame, open flames, clearly still burning. So there's a lot of work yet to do for these firefighters, and a lot of mess yet to get control of as we watch this. We are at this point almost 2 o'clock in the afternoon. They are just a little over an hour into this battle. When we say 3 alarms, I have to do a little bit of checking to find out how many firefighters that is for the Houston Fire Department. It's a lot. It's a lot of equipment. But as we look at this, we get our bearings here. We have the North Freeway, I-45 North, in the foreground here. So you have the church building to the right, and what we presume are the school buildings to the left. That white portion building right there in the center of the screen is the center of the school building, and then there are wings off to the side. So you have that one wing to the left, and then there was, because I believe it's now burned, there was another wing between that white portion and the church that I believe is now gone. There are open flames coming from the roof of that center portion of the school. That plume of dark black smoke still coming from the center of the school, and you see flames in the middle of that smoke. And then the church itself still has a lot of smoke coming from it. And then there are at least 2 ladder trucks pouring a bunch of water onto the center of the school. Trying to hose down what is not burning in that ceiling so that those flames have nowhere else to go than what they're burning at the present. We have some viewer video that we can share while we take a brief, and I'm seeing this for the first time as well. This is somebody from the North Freeway driving by, and one of those people who saw the big plume of smoke and had one of those oh my goodness moments. What is this all? And it looks like they're driving by what the church was before it got way out of control. And the church was not on fire, but it appears it was one of those buildings between the church and the school that was all ablaze. And that appears to be what was most on fire at that point, which is kind of interesting there. And back to live pictures from Skyfox, those flames clearly appear to have spread then in both directions, now to the church, and that roof is smoldering clearly, and then there are flames kind of peeking out of that roof of the church. There's another ladder with a couple of firefighters. They're monitoring and preparing perhaps to pour more water from above. But so much damage there. There's that TranStar shot. It was being spun around, so unable to see any farther with it as Skyfox kind of orbits around the scene. And if you are just joining us here at almost 2 o'clock, we are monitoring now this 3-alarm fire from Houston's north side along the North Freeway, what we believe is a church and a school on the 5600 block of the North Freeway, roughly around Parker. A fire that started about 12:20 this afternoon, and quickly grew to a 3-alarm fire and has spread dramatically, and is, from our non-firefighter eyes, nowhere near under control at this point. Wide open flames as firefighters are still pouring lots of water and trying to get this thing under control. And a lot of equipment and a lot of firefighters on this scene, trying to save what they can. We do not know what started this. We do not know how many people may have been on location at this church and what we believe to be a school when this started. We do have reporter Sherman DeSell and photographer Matt Mateka on scene. And I'm told that this is Sherman's camera as he's walking up to the scene, just kind of showing us what he's seeing as he's walking. Houston police setting up a perimeter. Go ahead. All right, so I am told, I'm being told that our assignment desk called the church that is listed on the signage, and they tell our assignment desk that they sold this property to the Texas Department of Transportation in, was that April of last year? Moved out of the building in April of last year. So that might suggest that the building was vacant, which would be good news for the possibility of any injuries, that there wouldn't be any, which would be great. And again, when we mention the idea and the possibility of a school, we're only going by what Google is suggesting. If we could have our assignment desk check to see if that school that is listed there is indeed a thing. Okay. We're going to continue watching this as we bring this particular hour of Houston Live and Local to a close. I'm Tom Ziska. Anthony Antoine is next. I see him just through the window, and we will continue this coverage of this 3-alarm fire on the Houston's north side. We've got a reporter on the scene. We're going to start getting some information, and we will hear from HPD's public information officers sometime. As soon as we can, we'll bring that to you as well.
Rise and shine. Up and at 'em. Get going.
It's a good morning here at Fox 26.
Whatever or however you need to start the day.
6 a.m.
We're here.
Glad to have you here for the journey.
Getting informed.
As for the father, still no word on where he might be.
Staying connected.
Being able to interact and leave their comments.
When the days are long, it matters how you start.
I am so grateful to you, meteorologist Mike Iskevitz.
Wake Up and Houston's Morning Show. Weekdays on Fox 26. Nobody does more during hurricane season than your Gulf Coast Weather Authority.
Coverage on air, online, on social, and on our 24/7 Fox Local app. Hurricane gear test for emergency preparedness supplies.
Daily tropical updates give you the earliest possible warnings of developing storms.
And now includes forecasts for some of our area's most popular vacation spots.
Complete hurricane season coverage from your Gulf Coast Weather Authority.
Family Feud Favorites is an all-new show.
Name a number most men exaggerate.
100.
Bringing all the best feud moments together.
want to ask them if they want to take my flames while he goes live? 'Cause I got a better shot now. Okay. Hello? Okay, okay. Cool. Bye. Call desk cell. Hey Siri, call desk cell. Is it safe for me to relocate yet? A different angle? Or no? Oh. No, I just was wanting to give him something a little different. But let me know when. Okay. Just gonna move a little bit and raise my sticks a bit. You're gonna give me the exclusive?
sir, the rule is invoked. You're excused from the subpoena. You're not subject to recall, but do me a favor, don't talk about the case till you're aware it's over.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you very much. Your next witness.
Ranger Montalvo.
So the testimony given the calls will be the truth, so help you God. Go ahead and have a seat over here. Make yourself comfortable. Adjust the microphone if you need to.
Would you tell us your name?
Roberto Montalvo Jr.
And what do you do for a living?
I am a Texas Ranger with the Company D Texas Ranger Division.
Where are you assigned?
I'm assigned in Alice, which I cover Jim Wells and Duval counties.
And how long have you been a ranger?
March 1st of 2026 would be 7 years, so just under 7.
How long have you been in law enforcement?
I started